It's the second weekend of the D1 Arkema, and the champions Paris Saint-Germain are on the road for the first time, and they've headed south to meet Montpellier. It was a very successful start to the title defence with a 5-0 victory over FC Fleury, and they also face Parisian opposition in the other game taking place this evening. Of course, two French clubs are currently involved in qualification for the UEFA Champions League. Bordeaux plays Soyo, and Lyon have a local derby with Saint-Etienne. The early table, after one game, Paris Saint-Germain, Paris FC and Lyon were the big scorers in the opening weekend of action. And this a big game for Montpellier. They find it very difficult to beat Paris Saint-Germain on a regular basis. Their previous victory in April of 2018. And Paris Saint-Germain were very impressive last weekend, scoring 5 goals without reply. And they'll be looking to set their standards on the road here today. And there's one change to the Montpellier team, who won at Dijon. Croatian international Iva Landeka comes into midfield, with Lena Petterman dropping out. Nerilla Mondessier, who plays her international football with Haiti, will take the central striking role. Micah Vadasicel is leading our match officials for this game. Marion Torrent, the captain of Montpellier. And Grace Kioro for Paris Saint-Germain. And Charlotte Voll is in goal for this game. And of course, Paris Saint-Germain currently not involved in trying to qualify for the UEFA Women's Champions League, like their potential title rivals. So Didier Ole-Nicole has the luxury of being able to name the same team which made that winning start last week. It means Elisa de Almeida makes a return to Montpellier wearing red and blue. And once again, it's good to see fans back in the stadium. And there had been some weather concerns before this game. There were heavy thundery showers in the region, and a practice match involving the Montpellier senior men's team was abandoned at half-time earlier on today, with no such problems in the evening. The storms have gone through, the sun is shining, and we are set for what could be one of the more testing matches for Paris Saint-Germain away from home this season.
Allez, bon match à vous, hein.
Pas psychoter, surtout le match. Pensez au remplaçant pareil, c'était le soir. Merci, bon match.
Tu veux gasser ou pas?
Paris Saint-Germain enjoyed a 3-0 success here last season, and they went one better in the capital. And those results came shortly before the end of Frédéric Mondy as the coach of Montpellier. So after a 5-star showing last week, Paris Saint-Germain get the game underway, wearing all white. attacking the goal away to our left. Montpellier had a much tighter game last weekend, winning 2-1 at Dijon. And they had to rely on an injury time winner from Sarah Pontigam after an own goal from Lisa Schmidt. Their goalkeeper had given Dijon hope of a point. That was an interesting first game in charge for their new coach, Yannick Chondou, against his former club. Gabrits finding Katoto, maybe thought about the shot. Gayoro, there was an overload briefly for Paris Saint-Germain down the right, but that's good defending from Bellamou. Ines Bellamou had to time that right and got the job done. And the flag very quickly raised for offside. And the last time Montpellier beat Paris Saint-Germain, there were some very famous names on the score sheet. Sophia Jakobsen, Johnny's Cayman and Stina Blackstenius. Well, they had a very disappointing campaign last time out, finishing 7th in the end. And this from a club which has often challenged at the top of the table behind PSG and Lyon in recent years. Oshawi. Baltimore, who scored the opening goal for Paris Saint-Germain last week. De Almeida. And the corner is conceded. Montpellier have spent much of the opening stages on the defensive here. Dominika Skorkanova taking no chances. The pass was possibly overhit, but she was aware of the pace that PSG have down that right-hand side. Dudek and Kashawi will be two of the targets here, played in by De Brits. De Almeida almost got the touch against her former club. Got the initial header away. Dudek. De Almeida. And Rawi. It's a lovely turn from Baltimore, but the pass not quite right. Here is Baltimore again. Dudek. De Almeida. Brought down superbly by Baltimore. Gayoro. Baltimore's delivery. PSG had two players going for the same ball there, the Brits and Diani, and in the end they almost got in each other's way. Baltimore, De Brits, Diani, an own goal, and Ramona Bachmann, who is on the bench here this evening, all scored last week. And there is undoubtedly pressure of expectation on PSG this season, having ended Lyon's reign both domestically and helped to end it in Europe as well. It's always good to see new names on the trophy, unless you come from Lyon, but they are sure to be very strong this season as well. Lawrence with the initial ball forward, but Skorkanova was in the way. Very good start for Didier Nicole. Expectations on his shoulders as well, replacing the coach who finally delivered the title for PSG, Olivier Chouafny. And Rawi. It's won back well, but Montpellier have spent almost the entirety of the opening stages here on the defensive, and that will continue here. Baltimore. And Rawi demanding possession. And the challenge comes in from Robert, but Montpellier still have some work to do. And it could be a very busy evening for Marianne Torrent and her defenders. Dabritz scored a spectacular goal from long range last week. And the cross-in was seeking out Diani. And then the penalty will be given. And Montpellier could simply not keep up in the face of such sustained attacking. And Paris Saint-Germain have the opportunity to score the opening goal. Ashley Lawrence, as she so often does, popping up inside the penalty area. And there was no doubt about that award. The ball was initially allowed to run. Skorkanova coming in and catching Lawrence, nowhere near the ball. And Sarah Dabritz, the German international, will take the penalty kick. First test here for Lisa Schmidt, fellow German. It's Dabritz, and it's 1-0. Precision penalty. And it's been an imposing start from Paris Saint-Germain. And they have the reward of an early goal. Right in the corner. Schmidt's guessing right, but really she had no chance. Not quite as effective as Dabritz's finish last week, or as spectacular, but she got the job done. And Paris Saint-Germain had the lead, and Montpellier have to try and start again and have to try and get a foothold in this game. Dabritz. Challenge comes in, but here is Dudek. De Almeida. Gallardo, helped on by Diani. Lawrence could be in again here. And she was just held up this time by Puntigam. And Montpellier are able to clear. Mondessier all alone, outnumbered, looking to get the free kick, and there was a quizzical look towards the official, but nothing given. Dudek, De Almeida. Hamraoui in her second spell with PSG. And she was very impressive for Barcelona in the UEFA Women's Champions League final against Chelsea last season. And it's no surprise that Paris Saint-Germain were keen to bring her back to the club. Robert's ball forward is cut out by Dudek. Almeida. Now Dudek, the Polish international once again. Hamraoui. And Baltimore is able to deliver the cross just beyond Katoto. Cleared away by Puntigam, but it may only be a temporary reprieve. Here is Diani, but she just runs out of room. Bellamou did well once again. But Baltimore delivering the sort of cross which was begging to be finished. That's another look at the penalty call. And de Brit's calmness personified. Sakina Karshawi and the other members of the defensive unit for PSG have just been able to back up the midfielders at the moment because there is so little coming back the other way. Karshawi, a player who started for many years for Montpellier before moving on to Lyon and picking up a Champions League winners medal. Here's Karshawi, now de Brit's, Hamraoui. Karshawi. And there is a real crispness about the passing from PSG. Gayordo. Mostly Lawrence, who is possibly still coming down after Canada's gold medal at the Olympic Games. But there is always another challenge around the corner for top players, and Lawrence has quickly switched back to club matters. And it will be a very busy season for Europe's top teams with the revamped Champions League starting in October for those who have already qualified for the group stage, and Paris Saint-Germain are one of those clubs. Karshawi, lovely turn by Katoto, and the shot in the end was scrambled behind by Puntigam. Marie-Antoinette Katoto showing her quality for the first time, but Puntigam was alert to the danger. And Montpellier are reeling on the ropes once again as the header is over the top. And it was a really good chance for Hamraoui. Rising highest, but unable to keep it down. And Schmidt trying to come through the crowd. And there was maybe more shoulder than head from Hamraoui, which is why it looped just over. Skorkanova playing it wide. But it will come straight back. Baltimore. De Almeida. Gayordo was too strong. Looking for support. He's found it from Diani. Excellent save by Schmidt. And once again, Montpellier escaped. But Lisa Schmidt's showing her abilities there. Diani not picked up, and Schmidt's doing well to cover the angles at the near post. Baltimore causing problems again for Torrent. Baltimore goes down, but PSG only have the throw-in in the end. Dudek. De Almeida. Lawrence. Dudek. That could turn out to be a very good ball. In fact, the corner flag ensuring the ball did not drift out of play. Well, Montpellier find themselves in another tricky situation as they try to play their way out of trouble. understandably perhaps, in the face of such pressure, there is very little cohesion between Montpellier's defence and the rest of the team moving further forward at the moment. More than one or two problems for Yannick Chandu to consider. Schmitz keeping the score down a few moments ago. And Lawrence working the ball all the way back. De Almeida. Paris Saint-Germain will be in the group stage automatically alongside Barcelona, Chelsea and Bayern Munich. A number of other big clubs are currently having to go through the qualification stages. Gallardo, Lawrence, Dabritz, that's lovely, Diani, brilliant! But the celebrations stalled by the offside flag. PSG denied. And that was wonderful football, but Dabritz playing the ball through. And it's a tight call against Diani. And it's one of those decisions where you can argue who are the other players interfering with play. Was Diani onside, played onside by Torrent. Well, the flag was raised and the decision was made. Here is Lawrence. Shrugs off another challenge. Diani looking for Katoto, beyond her, Torrent. Knew that Baltimore was somewhere in the vicinity, and here she is. Ashawi. Now Dabritz. De Almeida. Katoto coming short. And losing out this time. Landeka. Bian was looking to try and release Montpellier further forward. Dabritz. De Almeida. Dudek. Lyon and Bordeaux are two French sides looking to make their way through to the group stage of the UEFA Women's Champions League alongside Paris Saint-Germain. They're having to deal with qualifying games in the early weeks of the season. Skorkanova. And the free kick has been given for the challenge by Hamraoui. She looks perplexed. Skorkanova just levered off the ball. And illegally, according to the referee this time. Robert and Puntigam are over the free kick. And Charlotte Voll has her first real work of the day as we approach the 20-minute mark. Montpellier prize an equaliser here. Robert's delivery. Montpellier do well to keep it alive. And the cross is deeper this time, and Vol had lost it. Both sets of players are appealing for the decision, but Charlotte Vol had a smile on her face, but and she leapt up there with Puntigam. She got nowhere near the ball. Both sets of players were appealing. That's the warning for PSG when it's only 1-0. Baltimore. And Rawi. Won back well by Montpellier. She can't pick out the run on this near side of Faustine Robert. One of the summer signings made by Montpellier from Guingamp. Scored 11 goals last season, including strikes against both Montpellier and Paris Saint-Germain. De Almeida. De Almeida, part of a star-studded list of players coming into Paris Saint-Germain. Ashley Lawrence now on the charge once again. And the cross is cut out well at the near post, and Montpellier will look to break. Good defending from Landeka. And the free kick given for the challenge on Montpellier. Well, Elisa De Almeida. De Almeida nowhere near the ball. Montpellier have done well to stay in the game beyond the midpoint of the first half. Looking for more than that here, Montpellier. And the high ball work forward by Debayan. Bellamou losing out to Lawrence. Now Hamraoui. Diani. She was looking for Katoto, but there was a good leap from Lacra. And that's very good play from Lebayan. Has support from Montpellier, but was unable to pick the pass. Stabritz. And to join the Atta Football community and access more women's football content, matches and highlights, don't forget to visit attafootball.com. Dudek. Baltimore finding Karshawi. Baltimore now continues. And the challenge is made by Joanna Elsig, the German international. One of the new signings made by Montpellier, and effectively she replaced Elisa De Almeida, who made the move to PSG. Kept in play by Karshawi, but no more than that. Montpellier were active in the market. Gabrielle Lambert, Canadian goalkeeper, is on the bench. Faustine Robert is also involved today. And for PSG, Karshawi, Ilestedt, Cascarino, De Almeida, Diallo and Hamraoui are all players which could have a role both domestically and in Europe this season. Karshawi. And it's been given away. Montpellier. She's done plenty of running so far, but mainly without support. Now it's different. Landeka back to Montpellier again. And Gayoro takes control. and does more than that. And the first yellow card will be flourished. Marianne Torrent knew she was beaten and took evasive action. Typical run from Gayoro, and Torrent receives the yellow card and no complaints. Ritz over the free kick. Ritz with the delivery. De Almeida was jumping and Schmitz does well. Never easy that, coming through a crowd of players, and she was able to gather at the second attempt. Bian. That's given away cheaply. Hamraoui, De Brits, Baltimore. Solid challenge, which won the ball from Bian, and she has been one of the more impressive performers for Montpellier so far. Bellamou, one of a number of former Marseille players in this Montpellier team, who was chosen to move along the coast. Now it's been given away by Katoto, and this could be the opportunity for Montpellier to break, and the flag is up. Vol makes the save anyway. But the Haitian international just making a move too soon, but she was in between the two central defenders. Narila Mondesir has not scored for over 3 years, but deployed as the central striker at the start of this game. Lena Petterman on the bench. De Almeida. Diani. Now Hamraoui. Kashawi. Baltimore. Kashawi once again able to work the 1-2. And she was looking for Diani just to make that move in field, but Montpellier much more of a force in this game now than they were in the opening 20 minutes or so. Torrent, she'll have to manage that yellow card in the remainder of the game. Eva Landeka with the right thigh heavily strapped. Hamraoui. De Almeida's long ball forward. But it's not really sticking with Katoto at the moment. Torrent. Labia. Elsig able to work the ball further wide, but then it's given away. But Elsig and Puntigam have spent much of the first half in retreat, but it's a slightly different story now. Karshawi. Covered well by Robert. Faustine Robert has been brought in to try and solve the goal-scoring problems that Montpellier had last season. Only 27 goals in 22 games. And seventh place finish was simply not good enough after the number of years that Montpellier have had towards the top end of French women's football. Twice champions, and they've also had a decent pedigree in Europe. Montpellier looking to use her pace once again, but she was rather isolated, and as a result the finish was wayward. And it was given away very cheaply by Baltimore, and Dudek was left standing by Montpellier, but she was so quick there was very little in support. PSG have had one or two moments which will have given Montpellier moments for optimism. Baltimore. Lebia. Solidly won by Landecker, and eventually as the challenges fly in, Gayordo was caught. And PSG have the free kick. Landecker, having lost the ball initially, then ensured that Gayordo would go no further and just gets the warning to calm down. Dudek. Hamraoui. Diani. Gayordo. The cross looking for Katoto, but it's met well by Elsick. Montpellier again causing problems for De Almeida, her former teammate, and now she does have support. Needs to be the right ball, but it was one which sold Bellamou short. And you can understand the disappointment on her face. But that really is the ball for Montpellier at the moment. Forward to Nerilla Montpellier, and then they need to try and get players around her. And again, she was looking for Diani, and it's tidied up by Lacra. Hamraoui. Paris Saint-Germain have really found themselves in a game here. Montpellier have been very close to them in recent years, usually just behind them in the league table, but what happened last season, would it be considered a relative failure by the home club? Dudek. Montpellier had a decent start to the season. They were challenging around the Champions League places before falling away. Hamraoui. Elsig with the header clear. Montpellier. And this is much better for Montpellier as we approach half-time. That's a very good ball for Bellamou. Robert in support. Montpellier in a central area this time, but she waited for options, and Hamraoui was able to come back and make the challenge. But you can hear the applause from the home supporters, because Montpellier would not be flattered by a goal before half-time here. Hamraoui, De Almeida, Baltimore, Gayordo. Really strange not to see Formiga anchoring the Paris Saint-Germain midfield as she did so for so long. She's now returned to Brazil after a great career in Europe. Karshawi. Elsig had to deal with that and did. Dabritz. Karshawi. Baltimore. And Torrent read that well. And Montpellier have the throw-in. And Torrent showing all of her experience there. She's one of the players left who featured in the Women's Champions League for Montpellier. Robert gets the free kick. Yannick Chandu will have a much more positive dressing room at half-time than maybe he feared during the opening stages. Just having a few words with his captain. Amraoui. Baltimore, very tight turn again. Dabritz. Dudek. Gallardo. De Almeida. Lawrence. Lawrence looking for the pace of Diani. Katoto. Brilliant challenge from Elsig. And the German international denying Katoto, who looks certain to score. Torrent. It's a good turn, and she was looking for Robert, who was in space on the right, but well read by Karshawi. Hamraoui is now under pressure from Labiat. De Almeida in behind again, seeking out Diani. Schmitz with the clearance. De Almeida with the leap. Now Baltimore. And this is far from straightforward for PSG at the moment as they search for the second goal. It's given away by Diani. Mondesir. Now there is support from Labiat. Bellamou on the overlap. And the cross is dealt with just about and then superbly by Karshawi. Diani. Lawrence. Dabritz. And Dabritz catching Robert. And Montpellier have the free kick. And Sarah Dabritz with the only goal so far from the penalty spot. And Karshawi with some very accomplished defending. De Almeida will get there first. Bellamou. And she's held up by Lawrence, but Montpellier do have the throw-in. It's still tight on the scoreboard as we head towards half-time. Lacra. Torrent. PSG have the throw-in. Dudek. Space and time for De Almeida. And it's Montpellier who get the free kick. Lawrence went down initially, but she caught Mondesir. And it was that second movement with the arm which led to the free kick, just hauling down the Haitian. Labia. Quickly cut out by Gayordo, and Kototo was very quickly making the move forward, but the ball never finds her. Bellamou. Now Skorkanova. And she's won the corner. Skorkanova did not have a huge amount of support, but really got the best outcome there from that sort of situation. Robert will take it. And Robert with the delivery, and again it's rather flapped at by Vol. Torrent looking to play the ball back into a dangerous area. De Brits will run the ball clear. And that's twice now that Charlotte Vol has been suspect under the high ball. Before she was the backup goalkeeper to Christian Endler for so long, but now given the opportunity. And there's a hand wave there, an apology. She's been around the club for a couple of years. She does not have a huge amount of sustained first-team experience. Dudek. Amraoui. Baltimore. Diani again having to try and forage in the midfield area, because Montpellier now have stepped up and looked to compress the space, but here is De Brits, and that could be costly for them. Diani, it was deflected, and it's only a corner. And Diani has not been able to evade the clutches of El Sig on too many occasions. Almost in there. And Baltimore was shaping for the corner, and then realised it was to be taken from the other side. So De Brits will try her luck. Plenty of movement for De Brits to try and pick out. Elsig with the header away. Baltimore closed down quickly by Robert. De Brits again appeals for handball as it was struck into the body of Bellamou. And the penalty appeals are waved away this time. De Almeida, as we tick towards added time. Diani. And that's it, half-time. Paris Saint-Germain were the dominant side early on, deserved their lead thanks to Sarah De Brits' penalty, but the longer the first half went on, the more Montpellier have become a feature of the game, and they've had one or two possibilities themselves. At half-time, it is Montpellier 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1. And half-time, the champions lead by a 1-0. The early penalty from Sarah de Brits, but only one of 2 shots on target from Paris Saint-Germain in the first half. Montpellier applying more pressure the longer the game went on. Only 1 yellow card so far. That was for the home captain, Marianne Torrent. But they have been competitive, and that's good to see. And here are the first half highlights. Paris Saint-Germain in all white. And they applied so much pressure in the opening stages. The early cross into the penalty area was blocked initially. Ashley Lawrence was then caught, and the penalty was given. Very few complaints as the Canadian international was fouled. And there was so much danger coming on down that right-hand side with both Lawrence and Diani involved. It was Lawrence who picked up the loose ball beyond Bellamou, and it was Skorvenkova who eventually caught it. Sarah de Brits took the penalty against her fellow German, Lisa Schmitz, and she made no mistake. And Paris Saint-Germain led by a 1-0. De Brits scored a spectacular goal last week, but equally proficient from 12 metres out. And the second goal looked to be imminent at this stage. Sakina Kashawi with the burst forward. Silky turn from Marie-Antoinette Katoto, but it was superbly defended in the end from Sarah Puntigam. She scored the winning goal last week for Montpellier, and that may have been a goal-saving challenge there. Baltimore's delivery from the corner, and the header was looped over the top from Kira Hamraoui. Always easy to spot inside the penalty area, and that's what Sandy Baltimore did there, but maybe a bit of shoulder involved, which is why the ball was off target. And it was one-way traffic at this stage. Grace Gayoro showing so much energy. She picked out Diani, and Schmitz made an excellent save. Kadiatu Diani's pace will always be a feature for PSG, but Schmitz had the angles covered. And Gayoro was then involved once again. Lawrence coming in field, de Brits picking out the run, but the flag was raised and Katoto was denied. And Paris Saint-Germain were looking towards the assistant. The question is, was Katoto offside? It is a very tight call, but the flag went up, and that was that. A rare attack for Montpellier at this stage. Nerilla Mondessier picking up a loose ball, but she had no support, and the shot was wayward. And it was given away. Dudek rather waiting for the ball. Mondessier showing her pace, but it was very ambitious from there. Very quickly, Diani was on the move at the other end. Katoto denied by a splendid challenge from Joanna Elsig, one of the new signings, showing her quality. Paris Saint-Germain looked to finish the first half on the attack, and that's what they did. Diani with the effort, that was deflected over the top. And despite all that pressure, Paris Saint-Germain only lead by a 1-0 at half-time. And here is the moment of the half, brought to you by Atta Football. And for more premium European women's football content, visit attafootball.com. And of course, the only goal, providing our moment of the half, Lawrence, felled by Skorvinkova. And De Brits giving Paris Saint-Germain a half-time lead. And elsewhere, half-time as well in the match involving Fleury 91 and Paris FC. And the away team are also winning there by a 1-0. Also coming up this weekend, Bordeaux against Soyo is a game which stands out, as does Reims against Guingamp. And then the big local derby on Sunday, Lyon against Saint-Etienne. And of course, Paris Saint-Germain and Paris. At the moment, the two teams with 6 points as it stands in the table, but that could change in the second half.
Haut du tableau de cette D1.
Disons que c'est faire un bon début de saison, quoi. Pas lâcher trop de points face à des équipes où on peut penser qu'on est supérieur. Trop tôt pour nous, mais en même temps, 1-0, on a espoir dans cette deuxième mi-temps. Et si on peut prendre des points, pourquoi pas, mais je dirais qu'on fera le point à la 5e, 6e journée.
Avec du renfort encore pour cette saison.
And welcome back. Montpellier trailing by a 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain at half-time. But it looked like being one-way traffic for much of the opening 20 minutes or so, but it's a different feel to the game now. Montpellier get the second half underway in the blue and orange. And they are defending the goal away to our right. And Ashley Lawrence, who won the penalty, fouled by Dominika Skorvinkova, is also the victim of a high boot there from the Slovakian international. And it's a free kick for Paris Saint-Germain right at the start of the second half. Skorvinkova was quick to apologise, but that doesn't spare her the yellow card, despite her protests. And she's a player who has a good deal of experience to bring to this Montpellier team. 3 times a Bundesliga champion with Bayern Munich, but even though Lawrence was ducking in slightly, there is no question the boot was raised. And Lawrence looks to be okay. She's been joined in the Paris Saint-Germain squad by another gold medalist from the Canadian squad in the recent Olympics. Stéphanie Labbé, the veteran goalkeeper, has been signed by Paris Saint-Germain, and she is on the bench this evening. And she'll be able to pass on a good deal of experience to Charlotte Voll, the relative youngster at the age of 22, who is currently the #1 goalkeeper. Labbé has also had success in North America, winning the NWSL with North Carolina Courage. Gianni tangling with Puntigam, but once again the referee is happy to let that one go. Skorvinkova. Been a good battle between herself and Lawrence, and undoubtedly Lawrence had had the better of it so far, winning the penalty which led to the only goal. Skorvinkova. Now Labia. And Labia right to the challenge of Gayoro. Not too many people do that. Mondesir. Bellamou. Oh, the slice the cross. Almost breaks for Katoto, who I'm sure could hear the challenge coming. He gets the free kick, and another yellow card is shown, this time in the direction of the Austrian Sarah Puntigam. Another former Bayern Munich player in this Montpellier team. And Katoto's seen one effort disallowed and another one snuffed out by some very good defending. And she scored 21 goals last season, but only 6 of them came away from home. Gayordo, most memorably, of course, she scored the only goal against Lyon in that win in the capital, which laid the foundations for the title success. Paris Saint-Germain winning every single home game last season. And they only dropped points on 2 occasions in goalless draws at Bordeaux and, of course, Lyon in the penultimate game, which effectively clinched the title for them. Skorvenkova. Bellamou. She's looked to get forward, and she will do so here. Montpellier quickly on to Le Bien. And the shot deflected, and the sting was rather taken out of the effort, and Charlotte Voll is able to gather. Lawrence. And Dudek. Baltimore. And Karshawi allowed to carry the ball a long way, almost found Baltimore, but it was tidied up by Elsing. Puntigam. Skorvenkova, she was fouled this time by De Brits. And Montpellier had the free kick. Bellamou. Montpellier. And she's drawn De Almeida out of the centre. Bellamou with the cross. And once again, Hamraoui very effective as a screen just in front of the defenders. And Diani has space to move into here. Katoto ahead of her. Now Baltimore. Diani was caught, but Baltimore continues. Can she get the ball onto her left foot? In the end, she couldn't. Skorvenkova. Randeka. And the whistle has gone. De Brits is the player who is down. And it's another yellow card. I think for that challenge earlier on in the move. Inès Bellamou. Montpellier were caught out there. That was the challenge from Bellamou on De Brits. And that's good refereeing to come back and show the yellow card. Yannick Chandu will be happy with the defending. Baltimore had hold of Lacroix, and I think the feeling was mutual. And it's a drop ball in the end. Worked forward by Landeka. And longer this time, Bellamou. A long way to travel forward, and Skorvenkova on a yellow card, unable to really make the challenge. Here is Montpellier. Landeka looking to work it wide, but it's quickly won back, and this is the danger now for Montpellier as they push forward. They could be caught out on the break, Baltimore, but Le Bien has had a fine game. Schmitz with the clearance. Lawrence. Now Dudek. Amraoui. Lawrence. Now Dudek. Toto given the room to turn. Through towards Gallardo. Schmitz with an excellent save again. That is brilliant goalkeeping. And Lisa Schmitz is keeping Montpellier afloat. The scoop from Gallardo. And Schmitz did superbly well to make herself as big as she could. Katoto with a very clever assist, and Gallardo denied this time. Now Montpellier has given the ball away to Brits. Dudek. Katoto linking up with Diani again. Now to Brits. Dudek. PSG still need the insurance of that second goal. Baltimore. And the cross in the end is dribbled behind by Karshawi. But Paris Saint-Germain have created the chances to put this game away, but it's not happened yet. And that's mainly thanks to Lisa Schmitz. Kept only 4 clean sheets in 16 games last season. And she won't keep one here today, but she's ensured that her team still have a chance to take something. And Montpellier are looking towards their bench. Montpellier. Knocked on by Skorvenkova. And as far as De Almeida. Still only 1-0. Katoto, De Brits. It's all very tight again, and that's credit to Montpellier. And now the mistake from Hamraoui. And Labia, I think, was looking for the free kick, did not get it. Diani. De Brits. Skorvenkova covering well. Skorvenkova. Lawrence sticking very tightly to her, and that pressure leads to the error. And this pitch did take plenty of water earlier on today in the storms, and it's rather spongy in places, particularly on this near side. Lawrence. De Brits. De Almeida. Dudek. Well seen by Torrent. Mandeka back to her goalkeeper, who kept her calm. Labien. De Almeida. Amraoui. Paris Saint-Germain just opting for some keep ball to try and draw Montpellier out, but they've shown so much discipline, but it could be broken here. But the cross from Karshawi overhit. And there will be a change very soon. And it's Esther Mbakam-Niado who will be coming on, under 19 international. Montpellier are carrying 1 or 2 players on yellow cards now, and that may be in the thinking of Yannick Chandu. Opposing header from Hamraoui, but as well seen by Elsik. And it's all about staying in the game, really, for Montpellier to maybe try and give themselves a chance in the closing stages. 4 wins, 4 draws and 13 defeats is their overall record against Paris Saint-Germain. And that 3-0 defeat here in March was just before Frédéric Mendy was relieved of his duties. Baltimore. And she is giving the ball away. Deke's back pass, and Schmitz was very cool. And things could open out for Montpellier here. Bellamou, Mondesir. De Almeida again is having to patrol the wide area. Lebia, Mondesir, not sure the pass was intended for her, but Bellamou is still forward, needs to be a good cross. And it's met by Hamraoui. Montpellier continuing to probe here. Point again. Lebia. Now Robert. Torrent. And she showed too much of that to Baltimore. Gayoro finding Diani, and Diani is caught late by Robert. And it's a free kick as we approach the hour mark. Double change. Nerilla Mondesir is coming off, replaced by Esther Mbayam-Niaro. And Mary Fowler, the Australian international, is also coming on, only 18 years of age. And it's Eva Landeka, the player she replaces, and Fowler featured for Australia in the Olympic Games, scored against Great Britain in a dramatic quarter-final, which the Australians won 4-3. She is a real talent at the age of 18, and she will relish this sort of opportunity here. De Almeida. Landeka was finding the game rather, passing her by in midfield. Now De Brits picking up a loose ball. Again, the shot is blocked. Katoto crowded out. Fowler. There was a shove there from Diani, and that was enough to give Montpellier the free kick. And those are positive moves from Yannick Chandu. Fowler will give them more pace going forward. Now Torrent, found by Skorvinkova, but it's a poor ball at a key time, which sold her teammate short. De Almeida. Charlotte Vol has not had a huge amount to do in the second half, but the game is not safe for PSG at this stage. Dabritz. Now Katoto to Diani in support. The challenge comes in from Elsik, and it's a corner. Diani taking the ball off the toes of Katoto, and no doubt that Elsa got the ball. Is this the moment that Paris Saint-Germain put clear daylight between themselves and Montpellier? Back of Niado is back there defending. Corner's played short, De Brits, and the header is wide. Katoto unable to put herself on the score sheet again. She moved off that far post and was unmarked. And now an opportunity for Montpellier to break. Even back of Niado. Almeida concedes the throw-in. Torrent digs out the cross, looking for Fowler. Crucial touch there from Lawrence. Bellamou, Diani coming back to defend and doing her job well. Labien. Elsick. It's a good ball, but good defending as well from Kashawi to just leave a Robert off the ball. And to join the Atta Football community and access more women's football content, matches and highlights, don't forget to visit attafootball.com. Baltimore. Good challenge again from Labien. She has been one of the stars for Montpellier. Long from Lacroix, but Sarah De Brits' penalty remains the only action on the scoreboard, but this has become a very intense battle between two sides who are giving very little away. Fowler. Marawi just stepping in before Mbakum Niado. Dudek. Now there's an opportunity for Gayoto to turn. She looks for Katoto, but once again Elsick reading the game superbly. Torrent, Elsick. And the ball breaks kindly for Skorvenkova. It needs to be a good ball. Mbakum Niado. Dudek with the initial challenge, but the teenager finds Robert. Robert's cross only picks out Volt. And Montpellier just finding it difficult to get that final ball right. Mbakum Niado, signed from Issy. Someone who will get plenty of football for Montpellier this season at a very young age. Baltimore. Koshawi. Amraoui. De Almeida. Amraoui. Will force to scamper here by Dudek. Just in behind, looking for Diani. We've seen that ball on so many occasions. Guntergam on a yellow card, can't really go to ground. And the cross is very deep. Up further away by Torrent. Robert. Clearance only finds Hamraoui. Dudek, De Brits. PSG averaged over 4 goals a game last season, but they were shut out a couple of times away from home. They're yet to score from open play here today. Dubritz. Lawrence. Diani. And the ball will not go out of play, and Katoto will keep Torrent honest. And it's not been her day so far. And the Stade Bernard Gasset holds just over 1,000, and decent crowd in here tonight. Labia. Elsig. She took a chance as Diani closed her down. Back in Niado. Now Torrent. There's an overload here with Robert down the right. Fowler waits in the centre. Cross deflected into the path of Dubritz. Katoto. Hamraoui. Lawrence. And that's good defending from Bellamou. At 20 years of age, she's another young player who has offered some long-term reasons for optimism for Montpellier. Elsig. Kashawi. Katoto. Paris Saint-Germain with the benefit of a free week before this game, of course. Bordeaux and Lyon were in qualification action in the UEFA Women's Champions League. Diani. And the ball had gone behind. Bordeaux performing well to only lose 3-2 at Wolfsburg before their second leg next week, and Lyon will return home with a 2-1 advantage against Levante of Spain. And the Champions League will be a game changer for European women's football, with so many teams in opposition on a more regular basis. And that will put pressure on the squads. Elsig. That's a very interesting ball. And the low cross is eventually blocked. De Almeida able to clear. Robert was the player in space, but it will come straight back. Punt again. Fowler. Fowler comes inside, tries a look, and it's gathered by Volt. On target from Mary Fowler, but Vol had a very good view of it. But we are inside the final 20 minutes and the game is still in the balance. Dudek. Hamraoui. And Baltimore has got the free kick, pulled down by Labia. Hamraoui. Lawrence. Diani. Dubritz. She's looking for Katoto, but defensively, Montpellier have been excellent in the second half. Kashawi. Two for company, Robert and Torrent. Now Baltimore. show too much of that to Torrent. Now Robert. Torrent. And one from Mbakam Niado to chase, but De Almeida had different ideas. And the ball is headed towards the building site. Well, it's changed very soon, and it's Aminata Diallo, another one of their new signings. Well, she will feel like a new signing, having come back from loan spells in the United States and Spain. Ramona Bachmann will also be coming on. Swiss international who has such a glittering CV. She came on to score late in the win last week. Of course, that game was really put to bed in the first half, but different story here. De Almeida, Amraoui, Lawrence, and as we've seen in recent times, Paris Saint-Germain do have the ability to close a game out. They may not need the second goal, but it's been the sort of game where they've missed chances, and Montpellier have just hung in there, and in this sort of situation you never know. That penalty from De Brits now seems a long time ago. Labia. Skorvenkova, Robert, Labia. Robert makes the move in behind, but it was well seen by Dudek. Amraoui. Kototo once again coming very deep to receive the ball. She has been marked very tightly in the second half. Amraoui, she could try luck from long range, she does, but it was well seen by Schmitz. And she was given the invitation, but Schmitz has had far more difficult saves than that to make today. Elsick. Lacroix. Given the time to carry the ball forward, and she's gone a long way. In towards Robert. Koshawi. The clearance is a poor one. It'll come straight back, and Vol is there to gather. After the way Montpellier really unravelled towards the end of last season, this is more like the sort of performance we've seen in recent years. Diani. Bellamou going to ground. Diani's gone beyond her, but Puntigan was able to come across. We still await the changes. Lena Petterman will also be coming on for Montpellier. Sandy Baltimore will be replaced by Ramona Bachmann. who was won honours in 4 countries, most recently with Chelsea. Also been a success with Wolfsburg as well. Elena Petterman comes on for Ines Bellamou. So the youngster has made way for who can bring so much experience to this team. De Almeida. Now Dudek. Gallardo breaks down again. Petterman, Fowler. And Bakum Niado ahead of her. De Almeida cuts it out. And as the game begins to become stretched, here come PSG, Diani. She had Katoto in space. She's now found by Gallardo. Katoto looking to play the 1-2 with Diani, but Fowler steps in for Montpellier. Forward from Petterman. And now Dudek. Gallardo. As we tick towards the final 10 minutes, PSG may just look to manage the clock here. De Almeida, Lawrence. Hamraoui. She's still going. Fowler goes down, almost wins it back, then nearly loses it. Lebihan. Lebihan has lost it. And the defending is eventually calmed down by Schmitz. Fowler. She's used the ball well since coming on. Petterman. She's lost it. Gallardo. Bachmann. Now space for Lawrence. There's been a conservative nature at times to some of the approach play from Paris Saint-Germain in the second half, but they do have a free kick here. There's an apology from Puntagam, who is on a yellow card. And Diallo is still waiting to come on. And Diallo spent time with Utah Royals and Atletico Madrid in recent times. And she will come on to replace the goal scorer, Sarah de Brits. Bachmann is over the free kick. Met by Diani. Torrent got away with a slice clearance. Bachmann winning it back. Possibilities here for PSG. Katoto. And the cross again is charged down, and you can hear the scream of frustration from Marie-Antoinette Katoto. Given away initially in a very dangerous area, and Katoto with a lovely body swerve created the space, but Elsing again to the rescue for Montpellier. And the corner hung up and gathered by Schmitz. De Almeida just looking to block her off, and it was seen by the referee. De Almeida maybe slightly fortunate to avoid a yellow card in that sort of situation. Torrent. Now an opportunity for the player who's come on with real promise. And Bakum Niado. Needs to be a good cross. And the ball again is drawn towards Hamraoui. Now Kashawi. Torrent was in the way, but PSG do have a throw-in. And Montpellier have got to try and keep them penned in here. Thrown short towards Diani, but it's one back, and PSG are very deep here. But now there's the possibility to break. Katoto, Bachmann. Stepping away initially from Skorvenkova. Diani. Katoto. Lawrence has moved across to the right-hand side. Wants to accommodate changes elsewhere. She was unable to find Diallo there. Gayordo. Katoto. Kashawi. Now Diallo. Paris Saint-Germain will look back on this game and believe they could have won handsomely had they made the most of their dominance early on, but they could still get the second goal here. Diallo, and the shot again is deflected. Katoto, can't believe it. Montpellier putting their bodies on the line to keep out PSG's number 9. Diallo finding Katoto, and this time it was Lacroix who diverted the ball to safety. 2 late changes here for Montpellier. Cyrielle Blanc coming on for Dominika Skorvenkova. Morgan Nicoli replacing Clarisse Lebien, who has had a fine game. Blanc only 18 years of age, an under-17 international. Bachmann's corner, it's deep, and it was seeking out Hamraoui, but it's a goal kick. Montpellier given the time to try and play out. Fowler. Nudged over by Diani, and Hamraoui will have words here with the referee for delaying the game. Montpellier annoyed with that. Elsing is over the free kick, and at this stage she may choose to play it long. Bakum Niado will be one of the targets, but Hamraoui rising to clear. Katoto. Now Gayordo will just look to take the sting out of the situation here. Diani made the dart in behind, but here is Lawrence. Gayordo. And the ball rebounding off the heel of Diani. Fowler. Again, it's that lack of quality in the final third, which has been Montpellier's most difficult opponent at times. Ottoman cutting out the ball from Diallo. Bashawi. PSG making hard work of this. De Almeida. Lawrence. Diani offside. This is an opportunity for Montpellier to get the ball forward. And the target here will be not to find Kira Hamraoui, which has been their main problem. Paris Saint-Germain will also use this time to make a change. Estelle Cascarino will be coming on, one of their new signings from Bordeaux. Cascarino will replace Diani. Kadiatou Diani has had opportunities, but fine goalkeeping has mainly denied her. And Cascarino will come on to try and see this game out deep into the 90th minute. Elsik with the free kick. And it's clipped away. Gayordo again. She just eats up the ground. But here is Elsik. Tetterman. And we are into a minimum of 4 more minutes. Still time for Montpellier, but not with balls like that. And it's been far too tense, I'm sure, for Didier Ole-Nicol's liking. Charlotte Vol has not been overly tested. Fatoto. Three Montpellier players converge on her. Fatoto has been off target this evening. He does have 80 goals in 76 games over the past 4 seasons. Fowler. Working the space well. Tetterman. Elsik. Lawrence will try and allow the ball to run out of play, but she runs into Puntigam, and here is a chance. It's deflected and just wide, and that was Montpellier's chance right at the very end. Lawrence, of all people, making the mistake, and it was fired towards goal by Nicoli, the player who has just come on, and it's a corner for Montpellier. Fired high into the 6-yard area, and this time Vol gathers. But she was a spectator when that shot looped beyond her, and then just beyond the far post as well. And that could have been the point-winning moment for Montpellier. Elsik. Taken down well by Mbakam Niado. But the pass is beyond Fowler. Throw in. Batman was looking for the free kick. Mbakam Niado turning beyond Lawrence, going into the penalty area, going down. De Almeida waved away the penalty appeals from PSG's point of view, and the referee did likewise. Really, she was on her way down before De Almeida got there. There may have been some contact, but it did look as though Mbakam Niado was probably looking for it. Lacroix. Blanc was involved, now Elsig. PSG may just have done enough, but they've been hanging on during added time. And here is Elsig. Torrent, she was clipped, it's a free kick, and this could be the final chance. Cascarino, the player who conceded it. And the delivery has to be right here for Montpellier. Right at the end of this game. And Robert is taking her time. Robert and Torrent are over the free kick for Montpellier. This surely will be the last action. Flighted in by Robert, flicked towards goal, volley clear, and that is it. Paris Saint-Germain have their second victory, but they had to work very hard for it. The early penalty from Sarah de Brits, dividing the two sides, and Montpellier came very, very close to snatching an equaliser in the closing stages. But the champions win their first away game, but only just, and Didier Ole-Nicole will not have enjoyed that second half one little bit. The Montpellier players having to be ushered away from the match officials at the end of this game. Yannick Chandu will see many positives from his side, but they finish on the losing side. It is finished. Montpellier 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1. So, a dramatic finish, but Montpellier unable to prize a point from this game. Only one shot on target from them in its entirety. Paris Saint-Germain started the game very well, but rather got bogged down the longer it went on, and they'll just be grateful to pick up 3 points. And the match was settled very early on in the end. Ashley Lawrence fastling onto a loose ball inside the penalty area, caught by Dominika Skorvenkova, and the penalty awarded. No real debate about the decision. Lawrence often pops up in those areas. Melamu losing out initially, and Skorvenkova taking down Lawrence. Sarah de Brits took the responsibility, and she made no mistake, beating Lisa Schmitz with a penalty low into the corner. And Paris Saint-Germain had the perfect start in the 8th minute. And they must have thought at this stage that that could be the first of many, because Montpellier took time to really ride the punch of that goal. Gayordo finding Diani, and an excellent save from Schmitz. Everything for PSG coming down their right-hand side in the opening moments. And that included a disallowed goal. It was very attractive approach play. The finish from Katoto, but she was deemed to be offside. Well, she wasn't convinced. And the replay showed it was a tight call, as Katoto just looked to make the run in behind. And the goal was ruled out. Into the second half. Katoto again with that lovely scoop to pick out Gayordo, but once again, Lisa Schmitz, immense for Montpellier. And Gayordo denied this time. They were given the time to work a short corner high towards Katoto, but she was off target this time. And a player who scores the bulk of her goals at home denied then. And it was Montpellier who finished the game the stronger side. Mary Fowler, the Australian, coming off the bench, but her shot was kept out by Charlotte Volt. And although Montpellier showed some real spirit in the closing stages, Paris Saint-Germain will believe they still should have extended their lead. Katoto again coming in field, but both Lacroix and Torrent flung themselves in the way of the shot. And that was the story for PSG, and they were almost caught out right at the end. Lawrence with the error, Nicoli with a deflected shot looping over Charlotte Volt, and just wide. And Montpellier were that close to snatching a point, but Paris Saint-Germain held on to win. And let's have a look now at the moment of the match, brought to you by Atta Football. For more premium European women's football content, visit attafootball.com. This was the key moment. In the 8th minute, the foul on Ashley Lawrence, the penalty from Sarah de Brits, and that was enough to give Paris Saint-Germain back-to-back victories at the start of the season. And it was a similar story in the other game played this evening. Paris FC winning at Fleury by 1-0. And the big game this weekend coming up on Sunday, the local derby, awash with passion. It is Lyon against Saint-Etienne. So the two teams from Paris on top with 6 points, but no goal rush for Paris Saint-Germain today. they'll just be glad to get out of here with 3 points. So Paris Saint-Germain having to dig deep in the second half. Montpellier showed some great spirit, but it's for champions who win once again. Hope you enjoyed it. From myself, Nigel Adderley, it's goodbye.